You make me sing about happy things in you. Make my heart ring. I feel just like a spoonful of joy. I twirl like a toy, rushing with sunshine, lifting my voice. You just make me want to sing. I'm taken in. I feel warm and toasty. I just love it when you got this way of bringing me up, smoothing me out, rounding my edges, trashing the rut. You just make me want to sing. I see you here beside me. It's better than before. You sail me straight to happy, with so much more in store. I can't contain this stirring urge of singing. Do 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 do. Like daydream-inspired blue, fresh morning wind. Each whisper of you floats round my mind, drifts out of time, bounces through heaven, 'cause you're so divine. You just make me want to sing. I see you here beside me. It's better than before. You sail me straight to happy, with so much more in store. I can't contain this stirring urge of singing. Do 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 do. You make me wanna sing. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yes, you make me wanna sing. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You make me wanna sing.
If spring is the season that wakes me alive, then fall is the season to contemplate life. Oh, yeah. I don't know what is it exactly in this time of year that makes the melancholy me reappear. Oh, yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist and sea, sand and ember trees. 'Cause it still feels like summer, but it's soaked in nostalgia slowly. All the leaves, they're turning brown. 'Cause it still feels like summer, and I simply don't wanna see the cool wind sneak back in our town. 'Cause we lived when it was out bare feet, tan skin glistening beneath the heat, evening swirl into a bird song beat. God, it's now so very bittersweet. So I guess I'll just put on my favorite sweater and say goodbye to summer. I keep on forgetting, times learn how to fly, and before I know it, it passes me by. Oh, I don't know why when life is beautiful I start to fear it'll slip through my fingers and just disappear. Oh, yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, and say goodbye to summer. Goodbye to summer. If life is an ocean wave, I'll stand on the shore and wait. Panoramic point of view, it paints a different kind of you. Nothing's permanent but change, waves never crashing in the same place. There's really not much you can do but marvel at the residue, 'cause it still feels like summer, but it's soaked in nostalgia slowly. All the leaves they're turning brown, 'cause it.
Hi everybody, Stacey here. I hope you all are doing very well today. Ignore my appearance. I just finished the workday. It's Monday, November 7th, and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I hope you enjoyed seeing my clips in Washington Depot here in Connecticut where I live, which is actually one of the towns that my favorite show, Gilmore Girls, was inspired by. So the creators of the show love Connecticut. They've stayed here a lot, and they actually got the inspiration from the show here in my own home state. So it just makes me love the show even more, and I finally got the chance to go to the area that they were inspired to film from. So I hope you enjoyed those clips. We went to a diner for lunch in the area. We went to the bookstore that is supposed to have inspired the Stars Hollow books where Rory goes and works. So it was just amazing. So I really hope you enjoyed that part of the vlog. So I wanted to share that at the beginning of this Gilmore Girls inspired video because that was just perfect timing, because starting today on November 7th, here in the BookTube community, there's actually a reading challenge starting called the Gilmoreathon, and it is my first year participating. I've been doing a lot more reading this year, so I've been getting more into reading challenges. I never participated in the past, but now I'm really interested, so I'm more into reading this year. I've been making more time for it. So when I heard there was a challenge inspired by Gilmore Girls, which is, like I said, one of my all-time favorite shows, I knew I had to participate. So I'll put the challenges here. By the time this video goes up, the challenge might be over. I believe it goes from November 7th through the 13th. So I'm not sure if this video will be up by then, but I thought I would share it anyways. So I'm going to take you along with me this week during the reading challenge to see how many books I can read. So this is for you book lovers out there. Hope you enjoy this content. So I have 6 books that I plan on reading, and I know that is kind of a lot to read in a week. That is not normally what I would do, but I really want to challenge myself to see how many I can read. So I'm going to show you my TBR, or my to be read pile of books for the challenges in the Gilmoreathon that I hope to read this week. So I'm going to show you my book pile now, and let's get started. Today is day 1, so I'm going to show you my reading picks for the challenge, and then I'll update you throughout the week as I get some reading done. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy watching. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm back. So like I said, I'm going to show you the books that I'm going to be reading for the Gilmoreathon Reading Challenge this week. We're going to see how many I can get through. Fingers crossed I can read all 6, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself. This is just for fun. So yeah, I'm going to show you. Here's my pile of books that I hope to read. So they all go with the challenges from the reading challenge. So the first book I have here is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is my sister's book, and this is in my fall TBR, and my sister loved the series. It's hyped up all over BookTube. I've read Throne of Glass by this author and enjoyed it. So my sister's been wanting me to read this. I figured I would use this for one of the challenges. Which I think the challenge that I picked this one for is called Family Drama, and I don't necessarily know if there's family drama in here, but it is a fantasy book, so there's bound to be some family conflict, so I thought this would be perfect. So that is the first book I'll be trying to read. The next one is a thriller. This is called She Lies in Wait by Gaitha Lodge. I hope I'm saying that right. I got this one in a little free library, and I don't know what it's about, like most thrillers, but I kind of like to go into them not knowing what they're about. So the challenge that this one is for is to pick a book with leaves on the cover. So obviously we've got some beautiful trees here with leaves, so that is why this book qualifies. So that's the second book I hope to read this week. The next one is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. This is my sister's book. She loved it. She tabbed it a bunch. This edition is just beautiful with the pink. And the challenge that this one is for is to read a book by an Asian author or a book that has Asian representation. So this has both. So my sister recommended this one because I don't really own many books by Asian authors, but she does because she loves them. And she said this book got her into K-dramas. So I'm really excited to read it. So that is the third book I hope to read. The next one is The Queen's Fool by Philippa Gregory. I've never read any of her books, but I've heard about them. If you watch Elle Fowler here on YouTube, back in the day when she made book videos, she used to rave about this author, but basically she writes historical fiction. So I found this in a little free library, and it's on my fall TBR. So I think the challenge I chose this one for was the complicated love interest, because historical books usually have complicated love stories with like royalty and the queen. So this is about Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth, so I'm sure there's going to be some complicated love interest in here. So I thought this would be a good choice for that challenge. So that's the next book I hope to read. The next book I have that I picked that is also from a little free library is The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. I've read a lot of his books. I always love them. Like I said, this one was used from a little free library, so it's not in the best condition, but I don't care because I got it for free, and I want to read all of his books. So I'm really happy to have found this one. I love finding his books at little free libraries. So the challenge I'm going to be the challenge that I chose this book for is the first challenge, which is to read in a book that takes place in a small town. And if you're familiar with Nicholas Sparks, his books always take place in North Carolina, where he's from, usually in small towns. So I thought this would be perfect for that challenge. So I'm really excited to read it. And this is actually the first book I'm going to be reading. So I'm really excited. And the sixth book I chose for this reading challenge for the Gilmoreathon is It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas. She's a historical romance author. This is my sister's book, and this is actually the second book in the Wallflower series, as it says on the bottom. I read the first one, absolutely loved it. My sister really got me into historical romance this year. So I'm really, really excited to read this one as well. And this one qualifies actually for multiple challenges because it takes place in the fall. So it does have leaves on the cover, which I love. So I absolutely loved the first book, and I'm really excited. I'm blanking right now on which challenge I'll be reading this for, so I'll put the challenge on the screen because it escapes me right now. But that is the sixth book I hope to read this week. So I'll show you from the side. These are the 6 books I hope to read this week for the challenge. I'm really excited to see how many I could read. Let me know in a comment below if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and let's continue with this reading vlog.
Still feels like summer, and I simply don't wanna see the cold wind sneak back in our town. But I guess I'll just put on my favorite sweater and say goodbye to summer.
everybody, Stacey here. Happy Thursday. I hope you all are having a great day whenever you're watching this video. I just wanted to give a little update on my reading for the Gilmoreathon since I haven't checked in a while. So I'm very pleased to say that I finished the book last night. I was reading The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. He's one of my all-time favorite authors. I've read so many of his books and watched so many of the movies that came from the books, and I absolutely love him. So I've been wanting to read one of his books for a while, as you saw in my TBR earlier in the video. So I read The Guardian, and it was a very good book. However, it was a lot darker than I expected, but his books are usually dark. It ended well, but it was just a really crazy read. A lot of twists and turns that I didn't see coming, so it was definitely a 5-star read for me. I would definitely recommend it, but there are some triggering things in there, triggering events about like abuse and things like that, so just be careful. If that triggers you, I would stay away from it. Other than that, it's an amazing book. It was almost 500 pages. I think it was 480 pages, which was actually a lot longer than I thought. I didn't think it was that big, so probably wasn't the best choice for a book to read during this readathon where you're trying to read multiple books in 1 week. I probably shouldn't have chosen it and should have went with a shorter book instead, but it only took me... I started on Monday, so it took me about 3 days to read it. Of course, I was working and everything, so I didn't get as much reading time as I planned, but I did read every night for 3 nights, so it took me 3 nights to finish it, and I am glad I read it, even though it was super long. So I'm starting book number 2 of the readathon, and it's actually not a book for my TBR. I decided to add it in last minute, so I'll put the book here that I'm reading next. I'm reading on Kindle. It's called Someday, Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham, who is Lorelai Gilmore in Gilmore Girls. And since this is the Gilmoreathon, I thought it was appropriate to pick this up because I saw somebody else reading it in the reading challenge, and I wasn't originally going to read it for this challenge, but I had it on my TBR for a couple of years. I bought the book a couple years ago on my Kindle when it came out, and I never read it yet, so I figured now is actually the perfect time to read it during the Gilmoreathon. What better time to read it, right, than during the readathon for Gilmore Girls, which Lauren Graham was in. So I'm going to be starting that next today. It's the middle of the workday. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. I have a couple more work things to do for my business, and then I'm going to try to start reading it this afternoon and then read some more tonight. So I'm hoping I love the book. I'm sure I will. It sounds really cute. It's about a struggling actress in New York City trying to make it. So I'm really excited, and I'm sure I'll enjoy Lauren Graham's writing since I just love her as a whole. So I'll take you along with me as I read the book, and I'll give you an update soon. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching this far. See you soon.
If spring is the season that wakes me alive, then fall is the season to contemplate life. Oh, yeah. I don't know what is it exactly in this time of year that makes the melancholy me reappear. Oh, yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist, and sea, sand and amber trees. 'Cause it still feels like summer, but it's soaked in nostalgia slowly. All the leaves, they're turning brown. 'Cause it still feels like summer, and I simply don't wanna see the cool wind sneak back in our town. 'Cause we lived when it was all bare feet, tan skin glistening beneath the heat, evening swirl into a bird song beat. God, it's now so very bittersweet. So I guess I'll just put on my favorite sweater and say goodbye to summer. I keep on forgetting, times learn how to fly, and before I know it, it passes this is my bio. I don't know why when life is beautiful I start to fear it'll slip through my fingers and just disappear. Oh, yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist, and sea, sand and
Hi everybody, I'm back. I hope you're enjoying the Gilmoreathon reading vlog so far. Thank you so much for watching this far. It's now Sunday, November 13th, I believe, and today is the second last day of the reading challenge. The challenge ends tomorrow, so I'm still going strong to get as much reading done as I can. So it's been a while since I've checked in, so I just want to give you a little reading update. So I think, let's see. So far for the challenge, I've read 3 books, which I'm very proud of. My goal is to read at least 4 of the 6, so 3 is pretty good. So I'll give you a quick rundown of the books I've read. So you saw me reading earlier The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. I finished that one about midweek, and it was a super good read, but it was long. It was a long book, but I really enjoyed it. So that was book number 1 for the Small Town Challenge. And then the second book I read was Someday, Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham. I believe I checked in when I started reading that. I finished that one a few days ago as well, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. It was a really cute, fluffy read about a struggling female actress trying to make it in New York City. So I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. I read that on my Kindle. So, and then the third book I read, which I don't think I showed much of at all, is The Queen's Fool by Philippa Gregory. So this one is a historical fiction book, and it's not usually my genre of choice. I love historical romance, but historical fiction itself without a lot of romance isn't something I normally read. I've never read any books by the author, so I got it from a little free library, so I wanted to try it, and I enjoyed the book. I actually skimmed through the end because it just got a little too long for me. It was almost 500 pages, and I kind of lost interest in it. I liked the main character's story, but it's like about the Tudors and their history and everything, but I'm not a history buff, and I feel like for this author's books you kind of have to know history in order to get the most out of them and enjoy them. So I don't know too much about the time period, and I'm not a history buff or anything, so I found the book kind of hard to follow. Like I said, it's super long. It's like almost 500 pages. Yeah, it was super hard to follow for me because the years, the time switched, and different characters. There were so many characters, so it was just too much for me. If you like historical fiction, I definitely recommend her books. But The Queen's Fool was just not for me, unfortunately. Like I said, I ended up skimming through the end just to get it done, so I gave it 3 stars because I enjoyed the beginning, and then I just couldn't get through the rest of it. So now I'm reading book 4. I'm about to start this historical romance. It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas. This is the second book in the Wallflower series, and this is historical romance, and I'm doing this for the challenge that has leaves on the cover. So that's one of the challenges for the Gilmoreathon. I'm really excited to read this. I read the first book in the series, absolutely loved it. I love historical romance, so I'm really excited to read this one. So it's Sunday, the second to last day. I'm gonna start this one. I'm hoping to finish this one by tomorrow, the last day of the challenge, to have 4 books read. So that is my update for now. I'll keep you posted again either tonight or tomorrow on the last day of the challenge. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. Bye for now.
trees, 'cause it still feels like summer.